The day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are to rejoice and we are to be glad in it. Welcome to the Morning Glory Show with me, LaShonda Lee, where in the morning all things are new. All opportunities are brand new. Your grace and your mercy is new. This is the day that the Lord has made, and our instruction is for us to rejoice. I am praying that you all have a great weekend planned for yourselves. We've worked hard, and so on the weekend, we get an opportunity to play hard. But listen, we want to go and jump right into our topic today because some of you all may be getting off of work. Some of you all may be on your way to work, but I definitely want to drop this in your spirit this morning. And my question to you is, what power source are you using right now to ensure that you are successful? What power source are you using to ensure that you are successful? And the reason that I ask that question is because I consistently work with people that say things like, I'm doing all that I can and I'm still not seeing any progress. I'm doing all that I can and I'm still missing the mark. I'm doing all that I can and I'm still not moving forward. It seems like I'm in the same place. It seems like I'm stagnant. I don't know if that's you, but here's the thing. The reason why I pose this question is because it is time that we evaluate the power source that we are using in order for our work to be successful. And so today, it is time for you and I to make our work succeed. And what I want to do is really quickly, and I say good morning to those of you all who are on Periscope, to those who are on Facebook Live, good morning to those of you all who are watching right now via YouTube. I say good morning. Definitely a pleasure to have you with me today. And I really want to remind you of a group of individuals in the Bible who, guess what? They were doing a whole lot of work, but they were not getting anywhere because they were utilizing the wrong power source. Do you hear what I said? They were utilizing the wrong power source. And I'm here to say today that if you are working hard, if you find yourself busy, if you find yourself active, if you find yourself just going through the motions, but yet it doesn't look like you're getting anywhere, it's possible that you are utilizing the wrong power source. So listen, if you can recall in the book of Jeremiah, the second chapter, verse 13, the people of that day, they were working extremely hard, and what they were doing was they were digging wells for themselves, but their wells could not hold water. Now, if you know anything about wells, the whole purpose of the well is to hold water. And so now you're building and you're digging a well that can't even hold water, right? So therefore, you're working on a project that is not going to manifest any results. You're working on a project that is not going to move you forward. You're working on a project that is not going to give you success, right? And so here's the thing. I'm sure they were disappointed and I'm quite sure they were frustrated, just like you and I, when we begin to work on things and we don't see any fruit. When we begin to work on projects and we don't see any results. And as a matter of fact, we find more disappointments than satisfaction. Guess what? You can get frustrated. But here's the thing. Are we working with the right power source? Are we working hard for absolutely nothing? I want to remind you, I want to share with you a little story. I remember when I was a little girl, right? And I used to love to go to the public parks and participate with some of the activities. My favorite was going into the indoor swimming pool. Right? My favorite was going into the indoor swimming pool. Now, I got to tell you, I had never had any type of professional training on how to swim, never had a coach to teach me how to swim, so on and so forth. But I constantly watched those children who were swimming. I constantly watched how they moved their legs, right? I constantly watched how they moved their arms. And one day I decided that it was my turn, right? And so I got my swimsuit, got my goggles, got my towel, jumped in the water. And I began to duplicate exactly what those children were doing. I was splashing my feet and I was moving my arms and I was just doing what I thought I needed to do in order to be successful, in order to get from one side of that pool to the other side of the pool, right? And so after I had gotten tired of flapping my legs and swinging my arms, I raised up out of the water, right? And this little boy that was next to me, he said, I don't know what you was doing, but you ain't went nowhere. He said, I don't know what you were doing, but you ain't went. That's what he said. You ain't went nowhere. And so as I looked around, I noticed that I was in the same position that I was in when I started. Was my legs tired? Yes. Was my arms tired? Yes. Did I think I was working? Yes. Was I exhausted? Yes. Did I make any progress? Absolutely not. And so I'm here to say to you, if you're not utilizing and moving in the right power source, it's possible that you can be working, but you're not moving. You're not moving forward at all. And so here's the thing. Just like the people during Jeremiah's time, and just like I was as a little girl thinking I was swimming, but I really wasn't swimming. I was just being stationary. You may be digging an empty well right now yourself. I'm going to say that again. You may be digging an empty well right now yourself. You may be working on something or somebody. You may have your own little project going on, but you are doing it your own way. Did you hear what I said? You may be working on something right now and you're wondering why it's not bearing any fruit, why you're not moving forward, why you don't see any positive results. It's because you're doing it your own way. You may be following your own little plan, trying to make things happen in your own strength and in your own ability. Can anybody identify with that? Trying to do something in your own strength, trying to do something in your own way, trying to do something based on your own ability. Have you ever found yourself doing that? And here's the thing. If so, I want to let you know it's not going to work if you have left God out of your plan. And that's why I asked today, what is the power source that you are using to make your work succeed? Because if God has been left out of the plan, your plan is not going to work. I don't care how well thought out it is. I don't care how many contacts you have. I don't care how much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the subject matter that you have. If you have left God out, it is not going to work. If you've left God out, it's not going to work. And here's the thing. There is nothing more frustrating than doing something and you don't see any results. Than doing something and you don't see any results. And so I'm here today. How do you begin to pull on the power source? How do you begin to pull on the power source? Well, the first thing that I would recommend you do is first present that to the Lord and make sure that that is His plan for you. We have ideas, we have thoughts all the time, and every thought that comes our way isn't from God. Every idea that comes our way isn't from God. And so therefore, it is best that any thought and any idea, if you don't know if it's from you or if it's from God, then present that idea, present that thought to the Lord and see what He says to you, right? Present that thought to the Lord, because I know if it is from the Lord, He is going to make provision. He is going to make provision so that you can accomplish that which you have presented to Him. The second thing is, if it is from the Lord, then ask the Lord, what is the plan that He has in order to manifest this dream, manifest this thought? Because guess what? For every vision that the Lord has given, there is provision. And so if you ask the Lord, what is the plan that you have in order to manifest this, He will definitely share with you the plan. How do I know? Because in Jeremiah, He says He knows the plans that He has for you. And His plans is to give you a hope and a future. His plans are to prosper you. And so certainly if it is God who has given you the idea, He has the plan to make it reality. And the plan that He has isn't just any old plan. The plan that He has is the absolute best plan. And then the third thing is, once God has given you the plan, once He has told you what to do, then the last step is for you to just obey. Because the only way that you are going to see any results is if you put it into action. If you put it into action, that's when you will see the results. But the great thing about it is you're not just doing any old actions. You are implementing the actions that God has put before you. And we already know that the word of the Lord says that when he sends out a word, it is going to do what he intended for it to do. So it's going to come back fruitful. It's going to come back prosperous. Is going to be exceedingly and abundantly above what you could even ask or imagine. Why? Because you have tapped into the power source that has the ability to make all things happen. You've tapped into the source that's omnipresent. You've tapped into the source that's omniscient, and you tapped into the source that is omnipotent. And when you tap into that source, your work will succeed. And so listen, if you find that you are working right now, but you're not moving forward, then I would ask that you check the power source that you are using. Are you operating in your own strength, your own ability, your own plan, or are you following the plan of the Lord? Because if you're not following the plan of the Lord, it is not going to succeed. But when you tap into God's plan and you do it his way, in his timing, all of your work will succeed. And so listen, you all have an incredible Friday. Have an incredible weekend. I look forward to seeing you, of course, on our 12 o'clock p.m.